Welcome back. In today's session, we shall look into Cloud Foundry Marketplace service and how to use Marketplace service in our applications. For that, we shall use the PostGres Marketplace service and we shall create an instance of PostGres Marketplace service and attach it or bind this service with our application. But before doing anything in the Cloud Foundry, we need to write the applications in our local, and we need to store the data into a PostGres database which is running in my local machine. And if everything works fine, then we shall push our application into Cloud Foundry and bind it with a PostGres Marketplace service instance so that our application can store the data into the Marketplace PostGres instance. So before starting this one, in our local machine, we need to install the postgresSQL. For that, you can go through this link and download it based on your operating system and install it. In case you don't want to install it, then also you can use the Docker image, and this is the command to pull the image. And once you pull this image, you can start the Docker instance using this command. Okay. Apart from that, we need to download and install the pgAdmin. pgAdmin will allow us to access our PostGres database, and it provides a graphical user interface to access. So that's it. So I hope you will be able to install the PostgresSQL and pgAdmin in your local machine. In case you have any issue, please write it in the comment section and I shall definitely help you out on that. Now, let's quickly jump into the code and we see what are the changes we make. Let me stop it. So, first of all, we have added a Spring Data JPA dependency and Postgres. Now, since we also use a dependency management Spring Cloud dependencies, and obviously we have added those versions number here. Apart from that, in the controller, we have created a post endpoint which is taking a customer name as a parameter, and it is first check whether customer name is there or not. If it is empty, it returns a bad request. Otherwise, it calls a service, and in this service, we have created an entity. This is account. It maps to the table T account, and it is storing the ID as a primary key and the customer name that we passed. I just keep it very simple so that we could focus, because our main focus is to use the marketplace service. And obviously we are using a account repo. So this service is calling the account repo and save the data, and from there returning this ID. Once it's returned this ID, from here we make some cosmetic changes and we are passing this ID into the front end. So that's the application. Basically, it is hitting the database and storing the data. Now, in my applications, when I'm running in this local machine, it is connected with the PostGres database, which is running in my local machine. For that, I am using Docker, and let me show you the Docker dashboard. And here I am running the Postgres instance. Okay. And I have already installed the pgAdmin. If you are using Mac, then I think you can install it with Brew command also. There is a Brew command, Brew installed pgAdmin. You can do that part also. Let me close this one. Okay, now let's quickly build this application. In case you are not aware of Spring Data JPA, or you are not much familiar with Spring Boot microservice, don't worry, you can still follow this video, and I shall launch a new series of Spring Boot microservice. There I shall cover Spring Boot microservice in details, from service registry to API gateway to config server, everything JPA, everything I shall cover on that. Okay, so anyway, our application is started. Application is built, and now let's run our applications. So let it run. So our application is started, and let's try to access our application. It is running on port number 9001. Localhost. Sorry, I give them localhost, this one. And see, this is our post endpoint that we have added. And now let's try. Let's see what is there in my database already, because I have inserted some data. Okay, it is there, Amit. So now let me do one thing. Let me insert some other data. Let me say John, and let me execute. So it is executed. Your account ID is 2. So let's come and let's execute it. So we can see this customer John 2. So our application is working perfectly now. Now we need to push it into Cloud Foundry. But how can we create a Postgres database into the Cloud Foundry? And this is where the marketplace service will help us. So let's quickly jump into our Cloud Foundry instance. You can follow my previous videos where I have mentioned how to create a trial version of Cloud Foundry instance in SAP BTP Cockpit. So if you log in into a trial first edition, so this is here. Okay, let me log in. My session has expired. Let me log in. It's loading. And we click here. So this is my Cloud Foundry instance. Now I don't have any application. I have removed the application that I deployed earlier when we discussed this blue-green deployment, etc. Now here you can see there is an option, Service Marketplace. And if you go here, you can see lots of marketplace services are available for our use. But we need the Postgres, so I select this Postgres hyperscaler option. And let's create it. I need to give a service. A service is this, trial environment Cloud Foundry. I just give a name, the retail bank, and let me create this. So what it will do, it will create a Postgres database instance for us from the service Postgres Marketplace Hyper option. So this, I can see lots of services are here available in build. So we need postgresSQL service. So we take the postgresSQL service, and here we are creating an instance. So this instance is nothing but a Postgres database instance for us in Cloud Foundry, and then we shall bind this instance with our application. So first let me create it. Let me see, view instance creation is in progress. Let me go to instance and subscriptions, and its creation in progress. So it will take some time to create. So let me pause my video for some time, and we shall get back when it is created. Okay, so our Postgres service instance has been created successfully. Now we can see what is our instance name and all these details. So the instance name is Retail Bank. Now we can integrate this Retail Bank with our application very easily. We need to go here, and we need to go to our manifest. There is a service property, and there we need to use our instance name. So I've already added, but let me add it again. This is the Retail Bank, or whatever name you give your service instance, same name should be here. And it's an array, so you can add multiple services here. So once it is done, let me stop my applications, and let me go to the console. Yeah, and let me try in this terminal. It will be easy. So first, let's log out from my PCF instance or Cloud Foundry instance. Now let me log in again. CF login minus A, and what is my Cloud Foundry URL? Let me go here. And this is my Cloud Foundry URL, let instance URL. Let me copy this, and here, oops. Login minus, and let me do one thing. Let me paste it here, and all this Docker command and whatever URL to download this Postgres and pgAdmin, I shall share in the video descriptions. Okay, and it will ask me my email ID. It is my trial account, followed by my password. Hopefully I have given the correct password. Yes. Okay, so I have logged in. Now let me go into the folder. So what is in the manifest I have mentioned? I have mentioned it is .target folder. So let me navigate to the folder where I kept it. I kept it here. This is my applications, and within this target folder is there. So let me go here. It's ls. Okay, now I need to push my application. Shape push minus f manifest dev.yml, and let me push it. So it will try push my application. So as of now, I don't have any application, but only one service instance. Now let's see. Let it pull. It will take some time. So let me pause my video again for some time. So it is almost done and my application is going to start soon. So starting, let's wait for a few moments, it will start. And our application is started. Is it? Yes, it is. Status is running. So let's go and see it in browser. Now let me refresh it once and our application should be up and running. This is the localhost 9001. So let me close this one. I don't need that part. And you can see this one application is here. Now if I click on these applications, you can see this application name and it is started and everything. If we click it here, yes, it's up and running. Now I'll show you some interesting things in the environment variable and all, but before that, let's access our application and let's see it's working fine or not. Okay, obviously it will not come like that. I need to give swigger device index.html post. Try it out. Let me give a name, say Johnny. Execute it, and you can see this, your account ID is created is 1 and all these things. So our application is perfectly working. It is storing the database. Now we have few questions. We stored this one, but how can we access our database? Just like in local machines, I can use it through pgAdmin and simply I can access what is there in this database and all. But now our PostGres is in Cloud Foundry. So how can I access this PostGres database which is in the Cloud Foundry with some user interface so that I can check what is the data in my tables or not? Okay, we'll come into that. But let's go here and we'll see here the environment variable. If you look into this, you can see this is the username, password, host name for our database. PostGres database is created. So this is our PostGres database credentials. This is created because we created a marketplace service instance for PostGres and we bind this service with our application. Because of that, this is created. Now let's go back to trial and we see our service instance and subscriptions. And you can see this one, this retail bank, they're binding one binding. That means it binds with one applications. And you can see this, it is bind with D2D retail bank applications. Okay. So that way we are able to link our PostGres database, which we have created in Cloud Foundry using the marketplace service with our applications. So here I did this one with the user interface provided by SAP BTP Cockpit or the Cloud Foundry, but we can do these things using CF-CLI command also. For that you can refer the CF-CLI documentations, or I shall also create a video to do the same thing with the CF-CLI command. But now let's focus on this part. So our PostGres instance is bind with our applications. And as you see, our application is working fine. Now, the next questions. How can I execute some query into this database and all? Okay. One options you may think that we can go here and we can go to our trial we can go to our applications, day-to-day environment variable. We can select this database host name and everything, and we can go here and just create a new server, but that way it will not work. We need to open this SSL, SSH tunnel and all this thing for that. But there is another option to do it, and I will show you that options. For that, we need to go to this particular GitHub repository. This is called pgstudio. Okay, so we need to go to this GitHub URL and you can just download this code. So I have already downloaded this code. It is here. Okay, it is nothing. It contains a manifest, readme and WAR file. Now in the manifest, just open and edit. We can give this application. So I have given on application name day-to-day pgstudio. This word is fine. And in this service, I shall give the same service name, retail bank. If you see here, what is our service name? It is retail bank. I have service instance and subscriptions. It's the retail bank. So same service. So the service which I bind with my application retail bank, same service I shall where it is manifested. I shall bind it here also. So what I did to execute the queries and all, I have downloaded this one from the GitHub. I just download this zip. It is this folder. In the manifest, I added this manifest. I have added service, retail bank, and I just changed this name. Now, let me deploy this application also. Okay, so for that, we need to go to this particular folder. So let me go to this particular folder. Now again cf push -f. I give this manifesto. Since if your the name is manifesto.yml, you no need to give -f manifesto.yml. Only cf push will also work. So, but let's do this. So what it will do, it will push this application pgstudio also into our Cloud Foundry. Please note, this pgstudio is not related to our core business logic. We are only reason why we are installing is pushing this one in Cloud Foundry is that we need some user interface like pgAdmin so that I can execute the queries into my PostGres database, which is running in Cloud Foundry. And this is the simplest way to do this one. There are other different ways also to do it. I just show this one. This is one of the options to do that one. You can, once you go to this, you can figure out other options also where we can use this SSL tunnel and SSH certificate and all and connect it from using pgAdmin also. So let's just deploy this application. Let me pause it for some time. Okay, let it continue. Otherwise, it don't take much time. So let's wait for a few minutes. And this application is started. Is it running? Yes, it is running. So let's go here, and again let's go here, and we need to go to our trial. You will see now two applications are binding with this. Okay, in the dev we have the two applications, but you see these subscriptions also. You can see two applications are bound right now. see this two binding. So one is this one, and what is other one? This is the pgstudio, and this is the retail bank. So let's close it. Let's go back to our trial and open the applications. Let's go to pgstudio and open the pgstudio. Okay, now it will ask us few questions. What is the database host and all these things. Where from we get all these things? For that we need to go here and we shall, let's go to dev, take the retail bank environment variable. From here we need to pick up. So this is our host name. Let's copy it. Where is this one? pgstudio. What is our port number? Port number is 2819. So let's get 2819. Then what is this is the username. Let's put our username. This is the password. So let's put our password. And what is the database name? This is the database name. So let me put the database name. And 2819 up to this is correct. Now let's log in. It should be able to connect. Yes, never. Anyway, I shall going to delete this database. So you can see this is our tables and all these things. Now we need to check that part and all. We can see these table structures. Now let's click on this script. All the scripts is here. Columns, you can see what are the columns and all these things. And we can see this data from here, and we can also open this SQL, and there we can write our query. Start from say the account, and let's execute it. You can see there is Johnny is here. Now let's insert another data and we see if it's working fine or not. So let me keep developer to developer and let's execute. Okay, so this account ID is 2. Now let's go to pgstudio and execute it. See this D2D is coming here. So our application is working perfectly, and what we did here, we have enhanced our applications in added a new endpoint that is storing the data into a PostGres database. This PostGres database we have created in our local machines. Now once it is working fine in this local, we need to push it into Cloud Foundry. For that, we need a database instance into Cloud Foundry. Now, to create a database instance in the Cloud Foundry, what we did, and let's go back. We have created a PostGres database instance using the marketplace service. So what is this marketplace service? This is the we have, let's see, let's search it. So we are using this one to create a PostGres instance for us, and we have created a PostGres instance which the name we have given the retail bank. Now in our manifest.yml we have added a new property called services, and we have given this name retail bank. Doing this, we push these applications. So our application is pushed, and we got our application deployed into the Cloud Foundry. Now this is a D2D retail bank and it's working fine. Now after that we faced a problem. Okay, we deployed our application, but how will you run some queries into the database and check whether we have inserted this data, or I just want to confirm that data is there in this database also. Basically what is showing in here, same thing I want to check, or I want to fire some queries into the database and all. So how will you do it? So yes, you can do it from pgAdmin, but for that it is not easy. You can try this one, but we need to set up some SSL, SSH tunnel and all these things. So or we can do it, access it from the command prompt also, but I showed you another options where we can do. We can go to this particular link for pgstudio and just download this code. Once we download this code in the manifest.yml, where is, let me open the manifest.yml. In the manifest.yml, we need to change the name, application name, and here in the service, give the same service that we bind with our original application. This is retail bank. So that we did, and then we pushed pgstudio also. Once we push this pgstudio, it is deployed, and from this pgstudio link, when we log in, we need to provide some database information that we can find here. Retail bank, go to environment variable. All this information is here. So we picked up these informations, put it here, it is connected to the database, and now if we insert something, we can also check these things in our query part. So this is how we can use a marketplace service in Cloud Foundry, bind it with our applications, and we can use this one. So here I have demonstrated with postgresSQL, but apart from that, we have many more marketplace instances. You can explore those things, and these are basically this additional plugin that Cloud Foundry administrator will install in the Cloud Foundry instance. So based on instance to instance, these things may vary. Say suppose here I have the Postgres, but I don't have anything called MySQL. But maybe in other Cloud Foundry instance where administrator will prefer to install MySQL, you may find MySQL there. So, but fundamentally it's the same. This is the way you should create an instance from the marketplace service, and you can bind it into your applications and you can use it. So this is how we can use the marketplace service. Whatever I showed in the command prompt, you can, in the user interface, in the browser, same thing you can do with the command line Cloud Foundry CLI command also. So for that, you can refer this Cloud Foundry CLI documentations, and I shall also create a new video to do this, the same thing with command line interface or CFCLI. So that's it from my side today, and whatever the URL and command that I shared, I shall put all these things in the video descriptions. So thank you, thanks for your time, and if you feel that this video really helps you, please like, share and subscribe this video. Thank you. Have a great day.